Hello there, thank you for joining me once again at my tying bench. In this tutorial today I'm going to tie you another old classic wet fly pattern. It's called the trout fin, and you've probably seen it a time or two, and this is just one particular version of how it's tied. There's different materials on other patterns I've seen, but this is just one that I picked out. And it has the Mary duck quill wings, or actually I use goose quill for this. The orange and black and white. A classic old pattern. I thought you might like to see this guy tied. So, I'll get him out of the vise, a fresh hook in here, and we'll get started. Okay, the hook is a standard wet fly hook, mustad 3399. Tying them on a size 10, so we'll get that locked down in the vise here. Okay. And I'm just using denville 6/0 black for the thread. So, first thing we'll do is start our thread about a hook eye length behind the eye, and we'll wrap back towards the barb of the hook here, just like so. Okay, then I'll come in and snip off that excess tag there. Okay, we'll come back a little bit farther. Okay, now for the tail, I just have some white soft hand hackle fibers here. I'm going to pull some off for the tail. Just pull a bunch off here. I want that tail to be about the hook gap length, or a little bit more or so. Okay, and I'm going to pinch that in on top, just like so here. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap back a few wraps onto that, just like so. Okay, there's our tail. Yeah, I'm just going to clip that to about where I want the body to end there. Now I'm going to come in with a piece of small mylar tinsel, gold and silver on gold on one side, silver on the other. I want the gold side to show, so I'm going to tie that with the gold side facing out. So I'm going to catch that underneath here, just like so. Pull that to length, and I'm going to wrap that, and I'm going to go forward on these materials and bind them down all the way up the shank like so. Okay, and I'll come back a little ways again, stop my thread there. Now, other versions of the fly, I've seen it tied with orange floss, but I'm going to use an orange dubbing this time around. That's one way I've seen it tied. So take a little bit of wax and put on the thread here, and I got some. Actually it's called a rusty orange dubbing. I'm going to use that for the body, and dub up just a small even noodle here, about 2 or 3 inches or so, a couple inches, for to form the body. Okay, I'll bring that up, see if that'll do it up here. Okay, just watch your hook point as you come around there, like always. You always want to be mindful of that for sure. Okay, and I'm going to wrap forward just to form a nice even body here. Okay, I'm going to need just checking the tail there, that looks fine. Going to need a little more dubbing there. Snip out some of them guard hairs. Okay, so I add a little bit more wax and a touch more dubbing to finish up the body. Not going to need a whole lot. Okay, that should do it. Slide that up. That should finish him up right there. Alrighty, that's fine right there. Okay, now we'll take our tinsel and we'll begin to wrap our rib. And you should get about 4 evenly spaced wraps, maybe 5. And we'll come up and tie that guy off. Couple wraps there, snug it down. Now I'm going to wrap forward onto him a little bit more. Then fold him back, lock it down really good. Just like so. And I'll come in and snip off the excess there. Okay, so there we have our tail, body and rib tied in. Now our next material is the hackle for the throat, and I have a brown hen hackle here. I have the fuzzy stuff stripped off, and I got the fiber stroked back, and I'm going to tie this in right by the tip there. So we'll get that ready to tie in here. Just going to wet that tip, and I'm going to bring that in. Tie that forward, and I'm going to fold it back and come in and snip off the excess. Nice and easy like. Just get a hold of that little tip and snip them out of there. There we go. Okay. Now I like to make one wrap behind that. Before I wrap it, it sort of props it up a little bit, easier to wrap. Now I'm going to wrap my thread forward. Okay, now grab my hackle pliers here, and we'll begin to wrap this hackle. I'll grab it by the stem. Just like so. And I'll stroke those fibers back just a bit there. Try to get them going the direction I want them. Okay, sometimes they don't want to agree with that, but just have patience. Just keep stroking them back as you wrap forward. Okay. Alrighty. And I'll come up and tie that off. Bring it around one more time. Catch that stem there. Couple wraps. Gonna release my pliers. One more wrap forward, and then I'm gonna wrap back onto that little stem, lock it in place, and if I can get a hold of it there, I'll just come in and give it a little pull. There we go. Now I want to try to get my hackles pushed down and back. That's how I want them to go. So I'll push down and back. Then I'm going to wrap back onto those to about where I want to attach the wings. Okay, that's pretty good right there. There, and that gives the gives a good beard underneath, good throat. Okay, that's where I want it, right underneath. So just having a look here, checking everything before I attempt the wings. Okay, so now the last step is our wings, and I have another set of wings built here. Just bear with me while I get them ready to tie in. Okay. Okay, they're all ready. I got the orange with black over the orange and the white over the black. So I'm going to bring these in, just going to make sure they're lined up the best they can be. And I want those right on top of the hook, so I'm just trying to measure up where I want them to come back. Right about there looks pretty decent. That looks pretty good right there. So I'll come in on top here. I'm going to come in and pull down on those. Then I'm going to come up, pull straight up, then back down once again. And once again I'm coming down, then I'm going to wrap a couple snug wraps on there, nice and tight, and have a look, see how they're situated. They look good right there to me, so that looks fine. Okay. That looks pretty decent right there, so They're right on top. I'm not going to screw around with those. They look good to me, so I'm going to come in and cut off my excess. Nice and close here. Okay. Just a little more trimming there. Okay. Now, I'm going to move my thread forward here and start to build the head on this guy. Just bind those wing fibers down. Strap forward. Okay. Just cover up all them wing butts. Okay. Let's see here. That looks pretty good. They're definitely tricky, these wings, but you just gotta have patience with them. But that looks pretty good right there, I'd say. So I'm pleased with that. Alrighty. Now, okay, so all I got left to do now is a whip finish, and just gonna build a little neater head on this guy. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, now I've whip finished this guy up. And he's a done deal. Get a 4 or 5 turn whip finish here. Actually a few more turns than that, but I'm not really counting them, but alright, that should be fine right there. Okay, snug that down. Give a nice little pull on it there, nice and tight. Okay, that looks fine. Now come in and snip off the excess. And there we have it. Another size 10 trout fin wet fly. Not that hard to tie. What takes so long is just building the wings for these type of flies. Can be a little tricky. So what I'm going to do now is come in with my Solares here, and I'm going to coat the inside wraps. Bring that in. Okay. Just give it a nice coat on there. I really like this stuff for streamers and wet flies. It gives them a nice shiny glossy head on them. I'm pretty sure the trout don't care, but I like how it looks. Alrighty. Okay. Now we cure this guy up here. Okay. That's fine. So there we go. Done deal. I really enjoy tying these old classic flies. Got quill wings and whatnot. They can be a challenge, but if you have patience, you'll get them. So, like always, I want to thank you very, very much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that good old subscribe button and the like button. I'd really appreciate that. And until next time, I want to wish everyone happy tying. I shall see you again soon. And so long for now, folks.